Hello, welcome back. So today Mike and I are going to talk about the Big Brother Season 22 All-Stars episode that aired on Sunday night. And this was the first part of it was the continuation of the HOH competition. Of course, HOH competition started on last Thursday's episode, the live show, and we didn't get to see who won because it was an endurance comp. So it did play out on the live feeds. So of course, the live feeders and everybody online saw who won, but we didn't get to actually see it on the CBS show until Sunday night. So of course, Danny won. After no one seemed to want to win this one, right? I mean, it seemed...
Yeah, I actually just seeing the competition, but then hearing the comments they were making between the cuts was interesting because everybody was strategically trying not to win, but they were trying to, I have to beat this person so they don't get HOH. Some people just didn't want to be have-nots, like Memphis. He was just waiting to be a not a have-not. Cody didn't want to win. He wanted one of the two girls, Danny or Nicole, to get blood on their hands because, you know, all the guys have been putting people up and getting blood on their hands, you know, making enemies, putting people on the block. So he wanted, Nicole specifically is trying to stay out of having to put anybody up on the block and get, she's really trying to fly under the radar as much as possible.
She's not winning comps. Nicole is winning nothing this season.
I don't know if she's trying not to win or she just can't win them.
I think this one she said she didn't want to win, like you said, like everyone was saying, but I don't know if she's tried to win anything. It doesn't seem like it, at least nothing, at least not HOH for sure. So eventually she's going to have to start winning or people aren't going to want to vote for her to win in the end because people want to see some comp wins. So hopefully eventually she changes that. But I had said before that Danny hadn't been also winning anything, and she also did not want to win tonight.
She just wanted to beat Tyler so that she's not Tyler's target.
But then as soon as Nicole fell, then Cody fell really quick, so she kind of had no choice. She wound up the winner by default. She didn't fall fast enough, so I guess if you don't want to win, you got to fall faster. So she was just kind of trying to wait out for Tyler to fall, but so that worked out. So Danny, first HOH of the season, and of course not shaking things up too much. It doesn't seem like. So we go ahead and have another. A lot of the episode did focus on the HOH, like the first half or so. So there wasn't a lot of stuff going on in Sunday's episode. We just kind of saw her talking to some people, you know, trying to figure out who to put up. Yeah. So Tyler and Danny. I don't know if Tyler would have really gone after Danny yet. I think Cody would have talked him out of it. So I don't think it was that imperative for her to...
Well, he was obviously bargaining big time by saying, you know, let's make a truce. And
yeah, I don't know.
I don't think Danny trusts him still, but
I don't think they trust each other totally, but I think it's too early for them. Like, they are in the committee, which is, of course, like the strongest alliance in the house, so it doesn't make any sense for them to go after each other yet. I think it's just all, like, they're getting in their heads, and they're thinking they're each a threat to each other, but I mean, it wouldn't have been smart for him to nominate her to nominate him. So anyway, what happened is that she, as we know, did nominate Kevin and David, which is super safe, as usual. We're still snooze fest through the season so far. Big Brother Season 22, snooze fest season.
I said nobody's making any big moves.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to rock any boat. Nobody wants to disrupt the alliance. There's just actually, I said this in one of the other videos I was on, there's too many people in one alliance. 6 people is a lot of people. And now there's a couple of floaters left and the 6. So
yeah, they always want to have the numbers, of course, which is why they try to make these bigger alliances nowadays. I don't think they used to really do that as much, but now the thinking is they have to have the votes. So of course you have to have the bigger alliance to have the votes. So it makes some sense, but it's just so boring for the viewers. Us, do you guys think it's boring? I don't know. We just think it's getting kind of snoozy, which I think everyone thinks. The best case scenario would have been for Janelle and Kaiser if they would have somehow teamed up with some of the players like Devon and Bailey and maybe Kevin, David, whoever. And then if they would have had some numbers too, if all those would have teamed up, and it would have been like 2 sides of the house. I think those are always the best seasons where you kind of have the 2 sides of the house, and it goes back and forth. The power goes back and forth, and it's always a struggle. This season is one of those seasons where it's like the same.
But people from the committee keep winning HOH, so it's not really even. If you get at least one other person to win a competition and be HOH, they might be able to disrupt. I mean, I'd go after Cody and Tyler right away, or Cody and Nicole, and just put them both on the block, and then you could start breaking up that bigger alliance. But nobody's winning.
Nobody's winning. So it's been, So we'll see next week, maybe. So Danny puts up David and Kevin, and then, of course, as we all know, David does have the disruptor power, which allows him to take himself or someone else off the block when they're nominated. Tyler did offer, though, once Danny was HOH, he went up to the HOH room and did say that he would offer to be put up on the block by her, or he, not really offer, but he said if she did put him up on the block that he would understand, because he's obviously made some mistakes in the game and he deserves to be put up on the block. So I don't know why you would say that. I still don't think, these players sometimes think, like, why would you even say that? But maybe he's just trying to be, get in her head and just try to do reverse psychology, but he just, say that. So I think.
And the thing now, Tyler was trying not to be, if he wanted to go home, he wanted to go home last week so he could just go home and not have to go on jury. Now anybody who gets eliminated goes to the jury house. So now they're stuck for weeks and weeks. And then Kevin's little plea that he doesn't want to be evicted and celebrate his birthday alone in the what do they call it?
Jury house.
The jury house. He may get sent out.
Yeah, so.
And then he'll have to celebrate his birthday alone. But I feel bad for him because he just keeps getting nominated. And
So anyway, we're going to talk about some spoilers now. So if you haven't watched the live feeds or been online, this would be a good time to not watch. But
you should keep watching.
You should keep watching because it's interesting. I'm sure most people in Big Brother world do the spoilers. I would love to know who doesn't, who is into the spoilers and the live feeds. If you don't have live feeds, at least you go online and find out information, jokers, whatever. So, of course, we do know David did use the disruptor power, which, it's David, so we never knew. It's possible. It's David. He might have not used it for some reason, so you never knew. Anyone else, you'd be like, yeah, 100% they're going to use it. But thank goodness David made the right move and did use it on himself.
Right.
So thank goodness David did make the right move, sigh of relief, and use the disruptor power that he won in the basement comp on himself. So he came off the block. Okay, so the big thing on the live feeds on the last few days was that even though he took himself off, and obviously everyone knows that he is off the block, he was trying to insinuate that he wasn't the one that won the power for some reason. Like in his head, he didn't think it'd be a good idea, that maybe he said that because he didn't tell everyone before, that now that, he did take himself off, it would be bad to say he won it because he lied before. But no one that got the 3 powers has said anything, so I'm not really sure what his thinking was of not just saying when he took himself off that, yes, I'm the one, I won it, I took myself off. So that was kind of weird, David's strategy, who knows what David's thinking. So I thought that was kind of strange that he would not own up to it, and Memphis was very upset and kind of doing his Memphis.
Okay, so David takes himself off the block secretly. Who goes up in his place?
Tyler.
So Tyler's now on the block.
So Tyler's on the block.
Danny, do you know, I didn't see the live feed, so I'm asking. I'm finding out for the first time. Did Danny discuss options for going on the block, or why did she go after Tyler in this case?
I didn't see enough of that. I think since he kind of offered himself, I think he was still kind of saying that he would do it. I think thinking, we're definitely.
So now is it looking like everybody's slanting towards Kevin going, or is Tyler in jeopardy?
I think it's.
And did they do the veto competition yet?
They did the veto competition. Devon won the veto. So now we have Tyler and Kevin on the block. Devon got the veto. So now we're thinking.
So it'd be smart for Devon to take Kevin off the block and create a new ally, since the other side of the house is kind of thin on allies.
It's hard. It's such a hard situation because they have no numbers on the other side of the house. So she takes them off. It's her and Kevin.
Well, what's going to happen is the alliance is going to start to crack, and they're going to start scattering to other people because they're going to start targeting themselves at some point soon.
Okay.
So it'd be smart now to start building alliances with other players, people who are floaters and who need people in an alliance. And
Devon did tell Danny. I think she told her that she would keep the noms the same. But now Danny is like, I'm going home this week if I have to nominate 4 people, but it's looking like she might have to. Of course, that's the worst thing to be HOH when you have to nominate more than just the 2 people, because then you have so much blood on your hands. So she's already done, David, Kevin. David comes down, put Tyler up, and then now we have, if Devon uses the veto, then she's got to nom someone else. So I feel kind of bad for Danny. That's kind of crazy HOH week. So at least it's a little interesting with all that going on, which is why they put the powers in there, to make it at least a little interesting, because otherwise it would be super boring. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm starting to see how the producers can drive the show and shake things up a bit, because sometimes if you just let things play out, it can get boring. So you got to throw a couple of different changes into the mix to allow the show to change and be more interesting. Because I agree with you, it has been getting boring with the committee just kind of putting the floaters out on the block and nobody can win anything. And we need some big changes.
Check it up. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if Devon's going to use it. I'm thinking she'll probably use it on Kevin. I think there was even a little bit of talk. She was saying that she might even use it on Tyler, because then she would be good with him.
Well, based on her fake tears after she fell off the wall, I'm thinking she's trying to start playing everybody now. I don't think she trusts anybody, and she could she could say one thing and then just like she told Christmas, "I'm not going to put you up." She's going after Christmas as soon as she gets power. So. Yeah. She's playing everybody, and she may take Kevin off the block, and it would be smart for her to do so.
Yes, we'll see. I don't know. Right now, I think it's pretty up in the air. I haven't heard a lot of which way it's going to go. I think they taped the veto comp on Monday, so we should find out very soon. And then the next show is actually airing on Tuesday this week instead of Wednesday, so that should. I didn't know if that was going to push things up a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be really. So we'll see. I think should be interesting to see which Davon does, obviously, with the vetoes. I can't believe she fell first, though, going back to HOH competition. Like, she fell
I think she
first.
knew she wasn't going to win, so she said, well, I'll go out, I'll create some waterworks, and then...
then she's
just act and tell everybody, get everybody's sympathy.
Memphis, I don't know what Memphis is doing. I wish they would start targeting Memphis.
Memphis is not playing at all.
I can't take
and just because he's a big dope, I just want him out.
He's definitely causing controversy with, the Ian stuff, about his autism and getting everyone else in trouble. Like Nicole F., as we know from, behind the scenes, has lost some sponsorships from her Instagram influencer thing that she does. She's lost sponsorships because of laughing at what Memphis said and stuff like that with Ian. So she's apologized to Ian, which is nice. But Memphis is just causing trouble. Hasn't really been winning anything since the very beginning, and just is hiding behind the alliance. And I'm just shocked that they're not more upset with them. I don't understand that at all. Why they're not targeting
This video's
Memphis
getting really
more.
long, so why don't we wrap it up?
Fine. Okay, let me just say that. I just don't understand why they're not targeting Memphis more, or even thinking about that yet. So I'm hoping that happens soon. So that is what is going on lately. And then we will see if Day uses the veto. That's the next big thing. And hopefully this gets shaken up a little bit this week. So let us know what you guys think in the comments. Just let us know if you think Day's going to use the video, and let us know if you think Day's going to use the veto and on who, Kevin or Tyler, or if she's going to keep noms the same. And just any other thoughts you have so far for week 6, just let us know.
Yeah,
so Big Brother season
know what you think.
22. Big Brother season 22 All Stars week 6. Just let us know your comments and subscribe. If you want to see more Big Brother Season 22 content.
And don't forget to like the video.
Like the video, subscribe, and we will see you guys soon.